Welcome to part 13 of our CodeLab. In this part we're going to draw the timer view, and so let's get started. The timer view has three parts: the header view, the meeting timer view, and the footer view. So let's first create the meeting timer view. So in our meeting timer view, we can create a circle view from the meeting view. So we're going to create a circle with a stroke border and a line width of 24. Let's keep the preview running. And this should have a line width of 24. Now we can add a overlay, and it's going to have a text view on the circle. And we can just put some placeholder text in here. Now we can add a property called theme and speakers and update the preview provider. So for the preview provider, we can update the speakers, and we can also add the meeting timer view speakers. So right now it's giving us an error for the theme. So let's take a look here. We need to add the theme and speakers. So that resolved the issue. Now let's keep going. We're going to add a computer property named current speaker. And the current speaker is the first on the list, and if there isn't a current speaker, the expression would return someone. So that's after the nil coalescing operator. Now we can update the text view to display the current speaker. So let's do that. And we can set the font to display using title. Now we can add a text view to display is speaking and wrap the text views inside of each stack. So we can have another text view which says is speaking, and these two get wrapped inside a VStack. Now we can use the accessibility element modifier to combine both elements in the VStack. Now we can use the foreground style modifier to set the color of the text to the accent color. Now we can use the meeting view timer view inside of our meeting view.swift. So inside meeting view.swift, between the header view and the footer view is where we can add the meeting timer view. And for our speakers, we're going to add scrum timer.speakers. And for our theme, we'll add scrum.theme. Now we want to add an arc. So let's create a file called speakerarc.swift. Now in speakerarc.swift, we can import SwiftUI, and we can add a structure or a struct called speakerarc, which conforms to shape protocol. So we can get rid of the body and conform to shape. Now a shape protocol requires a path function, so we can add the path function, which returns an empty path. Now the path initializer takes a closure and passes in a path param inside the closure here. Now returning an empty path resolves the compiler error. So we can try to build it here, but we should add the speaker index and the total number of speakers. Now we can add a private computer property for degrees per speaker. Now we can use the total number of speakers to calculate the degrees of a single arc. Now we can add a private computer property called start angle. Now we need the angle to start and end the arc. So the 1 degree that we are adding here is for visual separation between the segments. Now we can add a private computer property called end angle. Now we can complete the path function. So in the path function, we create a constant diameter for the circle. Now we can calculate the radius from the diameter and store it in the radius constant. Now we can create a constant to store the center. Now we can add an arc to the path, and we are using the constants that we already defined. Now we can use the speaker arc. So we have our center and we have the path. Now we can use the speaker arc. So let's take a look at the progress ring. So the progress ring will be this section. Now in meeting timer view, we can add another overlay with horizontal padding. So within the overlay below the first overlay is where we're going to add the second overlay. Now this is going to display the list of speakers. So let's add a for each view that takes in an array of speakers. Now if checks whether the speaker is finished, and it also uses binding to find the index of the speaker. Now we can add a speaker arc using the index and the count of the speakers array. Now we add a rotation modifier that rotates the speaker arc by 90. Now rotating that moves it to the 12 o'clock position, let's add a stroke modifier using the theme.main color and a line width of 12. So let's run the app. So we're missing something here. So let's take a look at speaker arc.swift. So we can actually get rid of this preview because it's not a SwiftUI view, and we can run it again. So we could start a new meeting, and we can see that the arc displays for the next speaker. Similarly for another meeting. So that seems to be working. So in the next one, we're going to look at data flow. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.